Okay, welcome to the Principal's Coffee. It's on Tuesday. So at the beginning of the year, I'm like, when do you want this? I passed out a survey and most people chose Fridays, but there are a couple of people that chose some other days. So I've tried to move it around a couple of times this year. I can't remember what the rest of them are, but they're on the calendar. But I'll post them they'll always be in the weekly newsletters. Okay, so I am recording it. Nobody has joined. So okay, I added one thing to the agenda since I sent it out. And that's the board presentation. So I'll talk about that in a second. Everything else, that's the agenda. So our tree planting, Jen, thank you so much. Let's give Jen a round of applause. She was responsible for the whole thing. And there was a really nice photo that June sent me of Jen from Sunday, but I did not have time to put it in here. So, but thank you. So just so everybody knows, Beth from Relief, which is a tree planting organization up in Santa Rosa, she has a friend that lives near here. And she came by a couple of months ago to say, hey, I can give you trees. And I'm like, that's great. And so I took her information down and I got really busy and I wasn't dealing with it. And then Jen stepped up and she's like, I could take this on. So she spoke to Randy at the city and Martine and Kelsey from our district, who kind of in charge of landscaping. And so we planted 21 trees on Sunday. There were about 9 families or so. Do we know exactly how many families? I want to say about 9. Yeah. Kids, adults. It was fast. I thought we would be here until it was dark and we were done. Like, yeah, it was great. So, yeah. So, now the trees are, they're small, but it's going to look great, soon. So I'm very excited about it. And thank you, Jen. Yes.
You're good for the next couple of things. If you're interested, let me know. And I also have, there's a couple of trees that have not been named. So everyone wants to take a sign and then decorate with your kids. You can just find a tree that doesn't happen. And that did provide us with that.
Yes. Yeah. So I think the plan is, and correct me if I'm wrong, every family will adopt certain trees, water it, make sure there's no erosion or things like that. Also, Kelsey, who's our landscaper, he'll be, managing it as he does everything, all the landscaping. But if there's some extra care, at least for the first 2 or 3 years, I think, it just helps out a lot for the trees because they're still kind of establishing themselves. Okay. Yes.
We need to get professional help.
Kelsey. If Kelsey doesn't know, then we could figure that out. But Kelsey's our landscaper. And so he would be the one that we would go to first. Yeah. Kelsey is a year-round employee. Yeah.
5 gallons a week. Where is there someone here or we bring gallons of water from?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay. We could have probably a irrigation stuff at the top because the bottom is closer to where people are.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. Wednesday lunch coverage. Last I checked, we had, I think, 10 out of 12 people sign up. 9 out of 12. So we still need a few more. This is for the staff lunch that the PTO is hosting. So the staff is including our yard duty staff that's usually out there at lunch. They're going to be having lunch in the library. And we're extending the lunch a little bit. So if you could come in to 12:10, I'll kind of explain everything. Maybe we'll meet. Did it say where we're meeting? Just, yeah, here or on the yard. I'll just say, look, okay, these are the designated spots. hopefully it's going to be dry on the field because it'll just make it easier if we could use the field as well. And it's not supposed to rain, so fingers crossed. And then I'll just kind of like say, this is what you do, and this is where everybody's going to be. I'll kind of be roaming around all 3 yards. So if you need help, like, what do I do? Or if there's a problem, like, come to me. And then if you still want to sign up, just, either click the link that's been emailed out, or you could scan that as well. So this is the thing I added. So tomorrow, our board meeting is here. It's the first time it's been here this year. And I'm presenting with 4 of our 5th graders. And we're going to talk about the 5th grade job cruise. And so we're actually meeting for a second time later this morning with the 5th graders. And we've planned the whole thing, but we're just going to practice it. And this is a short video I made of all the jobs, so I thought I would share this with you. The sound is not coming out of there. Okay, well, it's just music. You could probably hear my computer. So we're going to show that, and then the kids are going to kind of go into more detail about all their jobs tomorrow night. So that should be exciting. And if you want to watch it, or if you want to come, please come. If you want to watch it, the meeting is on YouTube. Oh, why did I do that? Okay. Next, minimum day, it's this Friday at 1:10, so don't forget. And then the next 2 weeks, we're on winter break. We come back to school on Monday the 6th. Homework. So this is our policy that has been in place for, I don't know, longer than me. So homework is not an equitable practice for students outside of school. Recommended homework is not mandatory, as not all students have support at home to complete work. Homework can still be assigned, but students will not be penalized for not completing it. The reason I brought this topic up, I surveyed families, most of the principals' coffees. I asked for feedback or input, what you want me to talk about, and this is one of the topics that was kind of more common than others. So I decided to bring this up. I reached out to the teachers, I don't know, a while ago. I'm like, tell me more information about what you do. And so this is kind of what well, actually, before I do that, let me say this. So there's been multiple studies on, the effectiveness of homework. So not only is it inequitable because, some kids just don't have for whatever reason, don't do it at home. Other kids do. So that's inequity. Also, what many studies have shown is that when kids are doing work in class with the teacher right there to support them, that's when they learn the most. When they're doing homework at home, it's just not, they don't learn as much. And so, and also the inequity of it. It creates a bigger gap for those kids who do the homework versus those who don't. And so for those reasons, we don't do this. We don't have it, we don't require it. And that's our policy. So this is kind of what the teachers, they gave the input. So each teacher decides homework based on the school policy. Some give it rarely, some give it regularly as optional. The types of homework that people give, most teachers give reading homework. And this graphic, I love this graphic. I've had this graphic for years. This shows like 3 different types of students, the green, the yellow, and the red student. So students that read every day for 20 minutes, you can see the number of books is meaning like how well they're doing like on a test, basically. You know, they are able to, you know, their reading ability is, you know, very good. They read, what does it say? You know, almost 2 million words per year, if they read 20 minutes. Or read to, you know, if you're in kindergarten and you don't know how to read yet or first grade, you know, read to them. That helps as well. Student B, they read for 5 minutes a day. They read, you know, almost 5 minutes a year. And then in the 50th is when Tyler stands on the top. And then there's student B, they read 1 minute a day. I don't know how anybody could just read 1 minute a day. I mean, you read a cereal box and that's like a minute. And they're in the bottom 10%. So reading every day, like most of our teachers, you know, recommend that. And it really helps a lot. So the other types of homework we give, some give IXL, which is a math online, you might know it. And then some give home connections, which is Bridges is our math curriculum, and it's just like a worksheet that's connected to the lesson that they teach during the day. And then you could do it at home, how it's connected to home. And none of the homework is graded. Unless it's like, you know, a big project. Like I know some teachers, they'll do some big project and that's part of their grade, but that's very rare. Like typical everyday homework is not graded. Any questions about homework? Okay. Yes. Yes, it's on Clever, yeah. So everybody could sign in through Clever at school, at home, and they could do, yeah, IXL. And all the kids should know their passwords. If you don't, email your teacher and they could tell you what it is. Okay, or you can email me. Email the teacher, please. Okay, next. Okay, contacting me. So for concerns about your child, generally contact the teacher first. And know that they're off contract at 3:20. Some of them stay after that, but they will do their best to get back to you within 24 hours. But you know, be aware, sometimes they're super busy, so it might take longer. For logistical questions or concerns, you can call Eva in the office. And then for anything else, contact me. And so these are the ways I like to be contacted. In person, that's the best, but I know, you know, sometimes that can't happen. I like texts. I know, you know, when I first came, I've given out my cell phone for several years to my old school. I even did it when I was a teacher. I gave it to my middle school students. It's never been abused. Like nobody has ever called me at midnight or crank called me, maybe one time in all these years. And when I came here, I was like, people were like, oh my gosh, don't give out your cell phone. I'm like, you're going to contact me somehow. I would prefer you to contact me the easiest way that I like. I like texts. So you can text me. This, if you scan this, it brings up like all of my contact information. You can just save it to your contacts. Again, you have it. Emails are fine too. I have a direct line right to my office. You'll probably end up leaving a voicemail because I'm in my office sometimes, but a lot of times I'm not. Usually, if you text me, I could respond right away. Like if it's a quick thing, don't text me a big long problem. Then call me or talk to me in person or email me. But any of these ways work. Any questions? That's it. That was a short meeting. That's the shortest meeting we've had this year. Okay, if you have other things you want to talk about, please continue to input them. I don't know what we're going to talk about next month. I'll look at the list that people have inputted and I'll figure something out. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Drink some more coffee, please.